Hey guys, welcome to Console Purist in Review. For technical reasons, sadly, Kaz can't join us virtually today. We had some problems shooting the video, so I'm kind of just putting something together, a bit of a newsreel here for you today. Hopefully he can join us again in the next video. So I'm just going to touch on the major points this week, keep the video brief. So in major news for Console Purist this week, stay... Stacy Burns, our fearless leader, has released a book titled Every Game Has a Story. I haven't had the pleasure of reading it yet, but from what I can tell, it's an autobiographical look at his history with video games. For those of you who don't know Stacy or his story, Stacy is a huge video game collector and historian. He has one of the biggest video game collections you'll ever see, spanning everything from Pong consoles to the modern era. The book details his roots in gaming, how he became a collector, and yes, even the birth of this group, Console Purist. As of right now, the book is available on Amazon as a Kindle ebook for the low price of about $7.50 Canadian at least. It's probably more like $5 in the States. Or as a paperback for around $15. Again, that's Canadian, so it might be a little bit less in the States. I will be taking a look at this book in the coming weeks. I'm just getting ready for a huge cross-country move. I'm going from Edmonton to southern Ontario, which is about 3,500 kilometers in the next week or two. So bear with me. There will be a full review of this book on my channel, probably towards the end of September. So in the news in the last couple of weeks, Pikmin 3 is announced for the Nintendo Switch. Great news, right? It's always great when Wii U games get ported to a more successful platform because they mostly deserved more attention than they initially got. However, Nintendo really stirred up controversy by removing the game from the Wii U's digital eShop this week, sparking complaints of anti-consumerism. There were quite a few posts on Console Purist this week complaining about this, and honestly, I don't blame them. Nintendo is in the business of making money, and from a business perspective, it makes sense not to have the same game available on two different platforms for presumably different prices. However, a lot of people who may have gotten interested in checking out Pikmin 3 for the first time from all of the hubbub surrounding this new release, they may have wanted to do that on the Wii U because it was cheaper, or because they just prefer the Wii U, or maybe they don't even have a Switch, so for a variety of reasons, but that choice has been taken away from them. Just today, actually, there was a leak that suggests The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword is being released for the Switch very soon. So, will this be the next game that's getting delisted from the Wii U's eShop? Or, do you think this is something Nintendo's going to carry on with in the future? So Microsoft was in the news again this week with the announcement from 343 Studios that Halo Infinite, arguably the cornerstone launch title for the Xbox Series X platform, will be delayed well into 2021. What does this mean for the already struggling Series X? Even amid rumors that the PS5 will struggle with 4K graphics and 60 frames a second for many third-party games, the vast majority of gamers are still expected to buy into Sony's platform in the first few months after the launch of both platforms in this holiday season. With no Halo to spur sales for the Xbox, is the Xbox in serious trouble out of the gate? Are there enough reasons to buy the Xbox this year without Halo? These questions have been circling the group, and people are coming down hard on both sides of the debate. There seems to be a strong, almost rabid fan base for the Xbox platform, but at the end of the day, is the increased horsepower and the promised backwards compatibility enough to save Microsoft from poor launch window sales? We'll have to wait and see. Also in the news this week was the removal of the incredibly popular game Fortnite. Say whatever you will about Fortnite, but millions of people play it. It's been removed from both the Apple and Google Play Store servers over what amounts to a pissing match over profits. Epic Games, who operate Fortnite among other games, is challenging both Apple and Google's tactics and policies regarding method of payment and the percentage of cut that the two companies take from each download. Apple takes 30% of all transactions through the App Store, which has game developers furious. Epic began encouraging their player base to make purchases outside the Apple ecosystem, essentially cutting Apple out of the pie. Apple then banned Fortnite, and shortly after, Google followed suit. Epic Games has launched massive lawsuits against both companies now in what looks to be a landmark case in how mobile apps are downloaded and how in-game purchases are managed. We may be waiting a good while for a resolution to this situation, but Epic Games certainly has the resources to challenge the tech gods and get a favorable return. And kind of on the funny side today, a post on Console Purist that got a lot of activity, 200 plus comments, was somebody asking what would happen if the government made all video games illegal right now today and you were no longer able to play video games legally. What would you do? Well, a lot of the comments said that they would break the law. Or there was quite a few different humorous answers to that. But that really brings a question: what would you do? What lengths would you go to continue playing video games if they were illegal? In some places in China, for example, certain video games are illegal, and there is definitely a black market. There's all of these talks about piracy and game ROMs and all that sort of thing. So what would you do if all video games were illegal? Food for thought, guys. Thanks for watching Console Purist in Review. We'll be back again in 2 weeks, Sunday evening. Have a good one. See you later.